Going on Sky Sports News is always a little bit of an adventure. Well, to be fair, it's a pleasure. It is an honour, and it was a particularly good experience today because I didn't feel that the presenters, it's never a presenter, but it's really the co-host. I didn't feel that anyone was trying to trip me up today. A previous couple of times I've been on over the past couple of weeks, one was with Jay Bothroyd, and well, I didn't feel that he really sort of understood what I was saying. And well, as for Jamie O'Hara last week, I felt there was a certain element of trolling going on. And I think, to be fair, last week I'd sort of lost my sense of humour a little bit. But it's tough, right? It's tough, and I think you try and prepare yourself to go on and do something on television. And whilst might do YouTube stuff every day, television's very, very different, and you feel that you have a finite amount of time. So I don't know. I just feel the need to sort of speak quickly, really get my points out, which is totally different to doing this because I can pause, I can sort of change direction, go off on a tangent, and this is very, very different. So I think I was grateful today because they were just really straight shooters. I spoke to Leanne today, who played for England, played like 50 odd caps for England, and I thought she was really good. She was really nice, and I think the disturbing thing wasn't the fact that any of them were trying to trip me up. It was just I got to a point in the video where they asked about points coming up and how many points did I think West Ham were going to get, and then this graphic unfolded on the screen of this run of fixtures, which looked daunting, which really just goes to show how important the last two games were and how we couldn't afford to lose those. And it's not about being arrogant. It's not thinking West Ham have got any divine right to be anywhere above anyone else. But you also can't be so you can't be so modest that you don't target some games. And I think to beat Brentford at home, particularly bearing in mind they'd lost their arguably their three best players and their manager, I don't think that's fair enough to expect to beat them and to want to beat them. And I think when you're targeting it, and I don't think Leeds were very good, by the way, when we played them. I think it's fair enough to look at that game and think, well, do you know what? We're going to go and beat Leeds, and we should beat Leeds, even though as tough as Elland Road is. Having lost both of those, it's really hard. I mean, it's really hard to look at that fixture list, and even the game against Burnley, you can't view it with any confidence. You really, really can't. But as you'll see when I play the video in a minute, I think because of my last appearance with Jamie O'Hara, who I admit did annoy me a bit, because I just think he was going at West Ham fans. I didn't like it, and it's I think it's an easy thing to do, particularly when you don't understand the nuances of West Ham and what we've been promised, and when you just judge us as. Here's what I think is unprecedented with West Ham is have West Ham got a divine right to stay up? No, but I think it'd be the first time in Premier League history, I'd imagine, where a team. I think our average attendance is the second highest in the whole Premier League. Where a team that gets sort of 60,000 fans plus, granted not every game, but 60,000 fans plus in their stadium gets relegated. That whole point of the move to the London Stadium was meant to insulate us from this type of rubbish. So anyway, we get onto it, and they ask me a they asked me a question what do I think about our chances? And there were two things. Sometimes people just ask you questions and it gives you a reality check. How many points did I think we were going to get? And then how many of the actual West Ham players are good enough? I mean, that was a really, really good one. I mean, we sort of hope Crescencio Somerville's good enough, for instance. We've got no proof. He's done it well in the Championship, but we hope he is, and he looks talented. But it was really hard to look at that squad and not think, well, you know what? And as I say, you're sort of under time constraints, you're under pressure for time. And I think I ended up just saying Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Lucas Paqueta, and Jared Bowen as sort of proven Premier League performers. And I just couldn't factor in because of the way he's playing, because of the form, because of how he's deployed. I couldn't factor in Thomas Soucek. He is a proven Premier League player. I couldn't factor in Callum Marshall. He is a proven Premier League player. But I don't even need to explain to you guys. And this is the difference between doing something like that and then speaking to West Ham fans on a daily basis. But it was really, really hard. It was really hard to factor these guys in. And I even wanted to say Matches Fernandes. I like Fernandes. I think he's going to be a really good player. Whether that's a really good player for West Ham, I don't know, but I think he'll be a good player. But he's been relegated in his one season. The other season, he's sort of struggled. So you can't say, not with any certainty, that he is an established, decent Premier League player. And then it's quite sobering when people ask you these questions and you answer them as honestly as you can, and you still realise, oh man, we're absolutely crap. So, listen, we'll take a little look at it together, and I'll pause it and stop it from time to time as things come back to me. As I say, you've got to think and speak quite quickly when that stuff's going on. You can probably see here, well, it's probably out of focus. This says beers, right? I'm going to give you the opportunity to win some free beers, basically, but that's going to be tomorrow. So, or whatever, my next video, I might do another video later on. Today, the video is sponsored by just a wonderful app, basically, and it's called the basically I call it the club football app. It's not. It's called the Club Game app. Basically, it's Football Manager, right? On an app. It's free, by the way. You don't no nothing to buy at all, right? But this game is really, really good. I've been playing it now for a little while, and I'm actually really enjoying it. And you sort of build the club. One of the things you could do is upgrade the board. I've done that a few times, right? You buy players, you get the players ready for your team. You got little mini leagues. We've got Hammers Chat mini league, but it pits you against other people. You got to buy players. You got to loan players. You got to upgrade your finance department. You got to upgrade your scouting department. I've got to tell you, it's good fun. I've been playing it a lot. Probably a little bit too much. To the point I'm getting up in the morning and then scanning it to see which players I've been offered. You've got to deal with your agent. You can upgrade agents. You can have preferred agents if you want. Basically, you can run your own football club in the opposite way to West Ham are running their football club. Links in the description below. Not asking you to do anything at all. Just basically download it. Nothing to pay. Just come and join us. And if you enjoy it, then what I'll do is on future videos, I'll post the Hammers Chat mini league code. But it's there. Honestly, it's always open on my phone. Look, it's already open there. There's all types of stuff going on. These are the players that you can loan for this coming week. Lewis Skelly, Timber. I'll tell you now, I've already loaned in Timber. I've got my team there. My team's looking pretty fruity for the weekend. It's good. I've basically had 2 games in my mini league, and I've won them both. And I think I even came 3rd on the Hammers Chat mini league. I had a good week. There you go. So yeah, it's good fun. It's good fun. There we go. We'll deal with a beer tomorrow. That app is good fun. Free beer is obviously better than good fun. Well, you could do both. You could play your free app, drink your free beer. What's not to like? I'll give you the details for that in the next video. Right, let's crack on with this Sky Sports stuff, shall we? And yeah, as I say, this was a far more pleasant far more pleasant experience than the last one. Let's put it that way.
Likely that his demeanour will have improved much in the last few days. We speak to West Ham fan Gonzo now. Gonzo.
I should probably say when he's talking about my demeanour, he's talking about me being grumpy the last time I was on, and he's right. Okay.
So always good to see you. I mean, you've been here and there from what Leanne was saying, but just looking back on those last couple of games, Brentford and Leeds, which I know that you will have been targeting, you got 0 points. How worried were you then? How worried are you now?
Well, thank you for the introduction. Hopefully I'm not as grumpy as you built me up to be. It's been a few days, obviously playing with... Can I just say, what they got a great team. I'm losing. I need to go to Turkey or something. I'm losing out in the teeth department. I've got tooth envy. That's the truth. That's the truth of the matter. Friday gives you that little bit of separation. I'm still worried. I was worried beforehand, even more worried now. These were big fixtures for us, Brentford and then Leeds. When you look at the fixture calendar, which you've obviously brought up now, those were the games you need to target. And just looking at it now, Newcastle's going to be tough. And Burnley, look how Burnley have been playing. There's no guarantee that we're going to go and beat a team like that. And if you can't beat the teams, because I do think the Premier League's starting to separate a little bit now, if you can't beat the teams who are possibly going to be involved in a bottom 6 or whatever, then you've got major problems. And we've got major problems because we don't just look poor tactically. There doesn't look like there's any spirit or leadership within the players. There's individual problems and there's problems within the team as well.
How many points do you think you'll get from those 8 games?
Right. Right, okay. So this is, I don't know. I'm looking at those games and I'm thinking, oh, nothing. I don't think we'll beat Burnley at the moment, but I'm thinking, hold on, I'm representing West Ham here. I can't say nothing. So I go and say a total. I don't even believe myself, basically.
Because that is, I
Well,
mean, that is daunting.
how many do I think? I think we'd be lucky to get 7, but I haven't even got the evidence
Where
to
are you?
suggest that we'd get 7.
Yeah, where are your 7 coming from? I mean, I don't think you'll beat Newcastle, I'll be honest. Burnley, okay, fair enough. You've got to target that one. But where are your other 4 coming from?
Well, I don't know. I don't even say that with any confidence, but I can't come on to Sky Sports. You've already built me up to be a bit of a grump, really, and I don't want to be a Grinch this early before Christmas. But I can't come on and say we're going to get no points. Possibly Burnley, maybe, and we've got to try and get something with Brighton. Possibly we can nick a point off of somebody else. But it's really hard to be a West Ham fan and be confident at the moment because it would just be blind faith. There's not a lot of evidence to suggest we're going to do anything at the moment.
And Gonzo, the thing is, as we know in football, a lot can change overnight. You know, Liverpool was on a decent run. They haven't won now. Man United have turned it around and people were saying that they could win the league, which I don't come from that place. But, like, I think with West Ham, what I see, it's hard to see where your next win is going to come from. And it's not about being pessimistic. You talk about the body language, the style, the feeling. Like, the fans are coming out in numbers and fair play to them, going away from home, you know, on a Friday night, those types of things. The fans show up in their numbers, but it's just hard to see where, you know, the style of play, it just looks really, really negative at the moment, doesn't it?
Well, I've got to say fair play to her as well. But I hadn't read that. I hadn't read that post when you're on live. I wasn't able to read that post. I think the last thing we need to do at the moment is change manager. I mean, really. Anyway, I said just keep doing it. The problem is not with the managers. I'm not saying all the managers have been good. Well, I think I say that on there anyway. But we can't keep changing managers. But I'm really glad she said about the fans, you know, supporting the team well and all the rest of it. That was just, yeah. The problem, and this narrative keeps on getting spun. The problem is not the fans. The problem is not the fans. Look, this manager may not be making the right. Well, he's not. He's making crap decisions. The last manager might have been crap, but you know, you can make a case that yes, some of the there's been some poor managerial decisions, but we all know what the problem is. The, would Nuno be doing better at another club? Yes. It's all about the recruitment. It's all about how badly this team has been run, and it doesn't. It's just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, I think, from the optics. And I think it's difficult for some of these people who are not West Ham fans, who don't know the fine detail. They're sort of trying to puzzle it and thinking, well, what's going on at West Ham? And fair play to them, you know, fair play to Sky. They let you on, they let you have your say. And they're putting comments up here from West Ham fans. So look, you know, fair play to them.
Oh, Leanne, honestly, it doesn't feel like we've got a style of player. And this comes from, even if you go back to it, we went from Bilic, who was an attacking manager. We then went to Moyes, who's a pragmatic, more defensive manager. Pellegrini, ball-playing manager, back to Moyes. And then it goes to Lopetegui. And now we've got another pragmatic manager and Graham Potter. It almost, in turn, we seem to switch up the style of football and the managers we employ. There's no continuity there, and I think the squad reflects that. So it's not like we've got a team that's suited to counter-attacking football or a team that's suited to tippy-tappy football,
But
if you want. It's just a mishmash.
Gonzo, do you think you've actually got good enough players, though? Because I keep saying it, like, you can't always be the manager's problem. It can't.
She's quite right, the point she's making here, but it sort of really occurred to me when I was thinking about it, and it's not going to be any surprise to anybody the way we do. It's not just swapping managers around. This is why director of football is so important. So swapping managers around is one thing. Swapping from style to style to style, it's crazy. Even just look at that, Bilic to Moyes to Pellegrini to Moyes. To Lopetegui, then to Potter, now to Nuno. And then you've got all of these directors of football or recruitment, be it Rob Newman, Tony Henry, Carl McCauley, Tim Stuyton. And then you think that the chairman's having a go as well, and will sort us, is getting some players. And it's just such a mishmash. It's so hard. At least if you just had one, if you said, right, okay, our identity is counter-attacking football, at least you know you go and get another counter-attacking manager and all the players there suit it.
Always be the manager's fault. The players that you have, if you look at your squad on paper, like Tom said to me at the top, did I think West Ham would be in this position? No, because we haven't seen them be in this position since they got relegated when they had Defoe, Joe Cole and all the top players.
Well, you're absolutely right, and I heard you say that. The recruitment's been absolutely abysmal. I could make a case for 2 or 3 of the players, that Wan-Bissaka, Jared Bowen. I don't want to be overly mean to the squad because they're West Ham players and you want to support them. We do support them. As you say, we went up to Leeds on Friday and people were getting back at 4 in the morning after.
Um, look, you can't have it both ways on here. When you say they're good, that let fans have a say. Phrases. I didn't even see this. I'm glad I didn't see it when I was recording it. So I'm glad West Ham are struggling. They think they're a big club and don't know what fans expect. Bet they wish they had Moyes back now after chasing him out. Yeah, look, Fraser's a bit of a knob, quite frankly, because he just doesn't understand what he's talking about there. Really, actually, I didn't make those on a different video. I made this point. Moyes, everyone forgets this, and you have to be a West Ham fan to know it, really. And that is that David Moyes, you could draw a line under his results with Alan Irvine. Once Alan Irvine left, David Moyes' results started to go downhill. That's when you started getting five goals, the 6 goals being shipped. He lost Irvine. He lost Mark Warburton. He lost Paul Nevin, his set piece coach, and then Stuart Pearce, bless him, who's lost. It's just so sad, him losing his son, by the way. What about that? He lost 4 coaches. People don't realise this. Moyes, whoever's fault it was, Moyes had come to the end. And then the fact that what was bizarre was what was going on at the club. Did the club undermine him? Yes, they did. They didn't fully support him. And I have no doubt, had David Moyes had kept his coaches and he'd have got Scott McTominay and he'd have done the things he wanted to do, we wouldn't be in this mess. But there's a whole other, all that stuff, there's all that detail that needs to be factored into it as well. And that's just not. It's just a case of, oh, Moyes left because the fans hounded him out. It wasn't quite like that. Moyes' results dropped off a cliff. Anyway, again, they've given me the opportunity to just go back here to basically, about the fans. The fans do support the club, and this is the point, really.
And you want to support them, we do support them. As you say, we went up to Leeds on Friday and people were getting back at 4 in the morning after that, But there aren't too many. Paqueta, Bowen, Wan-Bissaka, the centre-backs. We've just spent £75 million on 2 centre-backs in Jean-Claire Todibo and Max Kilman. Yet our best central defender is Konstantinos Mavropanos, who's just, he's injured at the moment. And that's because he's got fight. That's because he's got determination. On your own programme there on Sky Sports, you had Gary O'Neill the other night discussing when he was manager of Wolverhampton Wanderers, how they had to constantly work on Max Kilman because he would switch off, he didn't concentrate. Stuff like that is a major worry. But when you...
I don't know if you know, you must know this, but I don't think we discussed it on this channel. Gary O'Neill was on Monday Night Football, and I think it was I think it was. Yep. Or was it the Friday? I don't know. I think it was when he was on Carragher. I think it was Monday. And he'd turned around and he'd said that during his time, they really had to work on Kilman's concentration. It was a constant battle with him to stop him from switching off and to stop him from, he said the word resting. I think he meant mentally resting. But I mean, that was a worry. You looked at it, you thought, what? Why did we get this guy? Well, I know why we got him. We got him because this is what we do. We allowed Lopetegui to have a little go at the transfers, and it was a case of, oh, go on, you take him then. Okay, well, I'll take Lopetegui. Sorry, Lopetegui says, I'll take Kilman, and then Sullivan. Oh, well, I'll take Crescencio Somerville. I will. Who do you want? Oh, a bit of Wan-Bissaka, please, if you don't mind. We'll sort us gets a Wan-Bissaka. Tim, your turn. Well, I'll have that centre back, please. That French centre back. This is the problem.
Watch West Ham play, you can see that. And then you've got, I'm not overly blaming the manager. West Ham can't keep swapping managers. But then when the manager comes in, he starts playing. There were more players playing out of position than there were playing in position, which I don't think helps. I don't think we're playing round pegs in round holes at the moment.
Gonzo, I'll end with a reason for you to be cheerful. It did take Nuno a while to get going at Nottingham Forest. And when he got going and they clicked, they really clicked.
Yeah, I think he's a good manager. I certainly don't believe that all the managers West Ham employ are bad managers. I just think you've got to create an environment where success is inevitable. I would take mediocrity being inevitable at the moment. But Nuno's a good coach. I've no doubt about that. We need to support him in January. The board have got to back the manager now.
Gonzo, you are one of our far more...
There you go. There you go. I mean, that's it, really. I do believe that. I do think Nuno's a good manager, and I think that this reflects poorly all of this stuff just reflects so poorly on the board. I was pleased with what they said there, which was that eventually once he gets it right, he gets it right. And that's why we got to back him. To make any comparison with Forest or what he did there, we need to give him the players. They got to spend big. They have got to spend really big, but they're not going to want to at the moment because what do you do? They're going to want to sort of feather the nest a little bit and get ready for the championship. Honestly, just the mess we're in, you couldn't make it up. You really couldn't make it up. They've just done such a bad job to drag us into this position, this board. They are just horrendous. It is constant mismanagement after mismanagement. And yeah, did Nuno pick crap teams? Yeah, he did. The inverted fullbacks and all that stuff. It was useless. Awful. Irving and Souček in midfield. Are you having a laugh? It's just absolutely terrible. But they're all terrible, and that's because they're all terrible under this ownership. It's because the squad we put together. We can't. What would happen is, I listen. That's the first I'd heard of Brendan Rodgers when I read it in that little bit under there. He would have the same thing. I just don't think there's anyone that can come in and wave a magic wand without changing the players. And if that's what's going to happen, we might as well leave Nuno in place so as he can at least get some of his players in. Oh, what a mess! What a mess. I'm sorry to do you know what? I actually feel worse. I feel worse now after sharing it with you than I did when I was doing it. So apologies if I've dragged you down a bit. I'll tell you what. Go and use that link in the description below. Download that football app, and at least you can do something yourself. And yeah, if you enjoy it, let me know. Let me know in the comments, and we'll do the In fact, I'll do that now in the comments section. I will put the join up code. So if you don't know what I'm talking about in the comment section, a lot of people say that. Where are you talking about? Under the screen, there should be a little drop-down menu, little arrow that points down. Read more. It'll say read more. It'll all be there. All right, have a little read up. Download the app. I'll put the Hammers Chat mini league code. You can join it. It's yeah, just come. Bit of fun. Bit of fun. That's all it is. Little bit of fun. You can. I'll tell you what I have been doing on there actually. So to get more stuff to buy more players, you can watch you can watch adverts. That's how they do it. It's free, but you watch the adverts. And I must admit, I've been watching a few adverts. I'm quite into boosting my squad at the moment. So yeah, there you go. I'm usually very, very crap at this stuff. So I've had a good first couple of weeks. Long may it continue. It probably won't. Right, that's it. I'm gonna skedaddle now. I'm gonna stick a couple of those beers in the fridge because I'm gonna drink. I'm gonna drink them online. I'm gonna drink them. I'm gonna share. I'm going to share some beers with you. That should be an interesting video. In fact, I know what the subject is. I'm not going to preempt it now. But anyway, I'll catch you a lot later.